Breaking news. China has just revealed a new generation of advanced computer chips, technology that could challenge Nvidia, the American company long seen as the leader in artificial intelligence hardware. These chips are designed to power everything from smart robots to self-driving cars, and their debut could reshape the global technology race. For years, Nvidia's computer chips have powered the world's most powerful artificial intelligence systems. Now, China is stepping up, aiming to become a major player in this trillion-dollar industry. The global balance of technology is shifting, and the world is watching. For a long time, Nvidia was the leader in artificial intelligence. Its computer chips helped power self-driving cars, voice assistants, and the smartest chatbots in the world. But now, in 2025, China is fighting back. Chinese companies like Huawei, Baidu, Alibaba, and Cambricon are making their own advanced chips. These new chips could challenge Nvidia's control over the world's artificial intelligence technology. This battle is about much more than just technology. It's about which country will lead in the future, protect its security, and control huge markets worth trillions of dollars. Some experts are already calling this the start of a new chip war, a global race for control over the future of artificial intelligence. The battle over AI chips is heating up. China is quietly building its own technology to challenge Nvidia, the company that has led the world in AI hardware. Big Chinese companies like Alibaba and Baidu are starting to use their own computer chips instead of buying everything from Nvidia. It's like switching from imported tools to ones made at home. For example, Baidu has built a huge group of chips, called a cluster, that work together like a team to train smart computer programs. This means they don't have to rely on Nvidia as much. Alibaba is also moving some of its work onto its own chips, especially for smaller and medium-sized tasks. This helps them save money and become more independent. But there's a problem for Nvidia. In 2025, Chinese officials questioned whether Nvidia's new H20 chip was safe, worried it might have hidden ways for outsiders to get in. This is called regulatory pushback, when the government steps in to slow things down or demand changes. Nvidia says there are no secret doors in their chips, but the suspicion alone makes Chinese companies think twice about buying. Meanwhile, investors are betting big on Chinese chip companies. One company, Cambricon, saw its sales skyrocket, making its stock price jump as people rushed to invest. The main tech stock index in Hong Kong also shot up, but some experts warn that prices might be rising too fast, like a bubble that could burst. The US has made new rules to stop advanced chips from reaching China. These rules, set in 2022 and 2023, blocked Nvidia from selling its most powerful chips there. By 2025, Nvidia could sell a new chip to China, but only if it gave 15% of its China-related chip revenue to the US government. This makes the business much less profitable for Nvidia. Let's break down the key moments that changed the global AI chip race step by step. Here's how the rules were rewritten between 2022 and 2025. In October 2022, the United States government's Bureau of Industry and Security banned the export of advanced computer chips and manufacturing equipment to China. This meant that powerful chips like Nvidia's A100 and H100 could no longer be sold to Chinese companies. Overnight, these chips vanished from official markets in China, slowing down the country's progress in artificial intelligence. 1 year later, in October 2023, the United States closed loopholes in the rules. Even special versions of Nvidia chips, designed to meet earlier restrictions, were now blocked. This made it even harder for Chinese companies to get the technology they needed for cutting-edge AI. In 2024 and 2025, the controls expanded even further. The United States began to limit not just physical chips, but also cloud computing services, artificial intelligence model data, and investments in Chinese technology. These new rules made it much harder for China to access the latest AI tools, even through online services. Then, in 2025, a new twist. The United States allowed Nvidia to sell a special chip called the H20 to China, but only if Nvidia gave 15% of its China-related AI chip revenue to the US government. Since China makes up about 13% of Nvidia's global sales, this decision had huge financial stakes for both countries and for the future of artificial intelligence worldwide. China is striking back in the AI chip race with a new generation of homegrown silicon. These aren't just generic processors, they're advanced, custom-built chips designed to power the country's cloud, AI, and data centers. First, Huawei's Ascend 910B and the upcoming 910C. Both are fabricated by SMIC at a 7-nanometer node, without extreme ultraviolet or EUV technology. The 910C, expected in volume in 2025, combines two 910B dies for even greater performance. These chips anchor Huawei Cloud's AI services and mark a leap in China's chip-making. Baidu's Kunlun P800 is the company's third-generation AI accelerator. It's already deployed in clusters of over 30,000 units. Baidu claims the P800 can match Nvidia's H20 class chips in training large AI models, putting Chinese hardware on the global stage. Alibaba is also in the race. Its Hongwang 800 chip handles AI inference, while the Yidian 710 powers servers. Now, Alibaba is testing a new training class AI chip designed to compete directly with Nvidia's H20. These chips are already running in Alibaba's cloud and e-commerce platforms. Cambricon and More Threads are China's rising stars. In the first half of 2025, Cambricon's revenue soared to nearly 2.9 billion RMB, about $400 million, up over 4,000% year-on-year. More Threads GPUs, like the MTT S4000, are now targeting a 100-class clusters, fueling China's rapid AI growth. All these chips need to be built somewhere. That's where SMIC comes in, the foundry at the heart of China's chip ambitions. SMIC produced Huawei's Kirin 9000S in 2023 using 7-nanometer technology without EUV. Instead, they rely on DUV multi-patterning, which is costly and limits yields. Tech Insights confirms the 7 nanometers process, but SMIC is still 3 generations behind the world leader, TSMC. China's chips are advancing fast, but they still trail the world's most advanced by several years. Even so, the gap is closing, and with each new generation, China's silicon army grows stronger. Nvidia is losing its strong position in China. In its financial year 2025, which means the 12 months the company uses for its official reports, about 13% of Nvidia's total revenue came from China. That's a big slice for one country. Nvidia's H20 chip was approved for sale in China, but Chinese regulators raised concerns about its security. The demand for this chip has been weak. In the second quarter of Nvidia's 2026 financial year, that's the 3-month period in the middle of their reporting year, Nvidia reported 0 sales of the H20 chip to China. There have also been rumors about so-called backdoors in Nvidia's chips. A backdoor is a hidden way to access a computer system, which could be a security risk. Nvidia strongly denies these claims, but Chinese officials remain suspicious. Even the suspicion alone makes customers hesitate to buy. Meanwhile, gray markets are booming. Even though official sales are down, older Nvidia chips like the A100 and H100 are still being smuggled into China. In Shenzhen, repair shops fix up used Nvidia GPUs so they can be reused in data centers. China's AI stock market is on fire. The Hang Seng Tech Index soared nearly 70% in 2025, with chip companies leading the way. Investors are excited, hoping to catch the next big thing. Cambricon, a top Chinese chip company, has become a symbol of this boom. But some experts warn its stock price may be rising faster than the company's real growth. Some say this feels like the electric car stock bubble from a few years ago. Analysts caution, for these chip companies, real success will depend on strong products, not just hype. In early 2025, a Chinese startup called DeepSeek surprised the world. They trained a powerful AI model using far fewer computer chips than anyone thought possible. Instead of using thousands of expensive Nvidia chips, DeepSeek managed to train their AI with just over 2,000 chips, spending less than $6 million. For comparison, training similar models in the past cost hundreds of millions. How did they do it? DeepSeek used a clever technique called mixture of experts. Imagine a classroom where, instead of every teacher helping with every question, only the best expert for each problem steps in. This way, the AI doesn't need every chip working all the time, just the right ones for each task. They also used smarter math and faster ways for chips to talk to each other, making the process even more efficient. This meant they could do more with less hardware. Why does this matter? DeepSeek's breakthrough challenges Nvidia's business model, which relies on selling more and more chips. If smart software can replace brute force hardware, it could change the future of AI and shift the balance of power in the global tech industry. The chip war is not just about technology, it's about countries competing for power. The Netherlands, home to ASML, controls machines needed to make the most advanced computer chips. By blocking sales to China, they limit China's ability to catch up. Japan also plays a key role. Japanese companies make special tools for chip factories. In recent years, Japan has restricted exports of these tools to China, making it harder for China to build cutting-edge chips. In response, China has limited exports of rare materials like gallium and germanium. These elements are essential for making certain types of chips. By controlling these resources, China pushes back against other countries' restrictions. To reduce its dependence on foreign technology, China is investing in open-source chip designs like RISC-V. This allows Chinese companies to build their own chips without relying on US or European technology. What comes next? Here are 5 crucial questions that could reshape the future of artificial intelligence, global markets, and technology leadership. First, will Nvidia's H20 graphics processor survive in China? If Chinese cloud computing companies reject this chip, Nvidia could lose not just billions in revenue, but also its influence over the world's fastest-growing tech market. Second, can China's top chipmaker, Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corporation, or SMIC, produce advanced 5-nanometer chips without extreme ultraviolet or EUV technology? If they succeed, it would be a breakthrough that shocks the global semiconductor industry. Third, can the United States really enforce its rules on artificial intelligence by controlling access to model weights and cloud computing rentals? These are the digital blueprints and online resources that power the next generation of AI. Fourth, will Chinese chip companies like Cambricon continue their explosive growth? Or is this just another financial bubble waiting to burst? Investors are watching closely. And fifth, will software breakthroughs like DeepSeek's $6 million training method become the new normal, making it possible to build world-class AI with fewer chips? If so, the rules of the game could change for everyone. The global chip war is entering a new phase. It's no longer just about US bans or Nvidia shipments. Now, China's homegrown technology is changing the game. China now has its own powerful AI chips, like Huawei's Ascend, Baidu's Kunlun, and Alibaba's accelerators, ready for real-world use. For Nvidia, this means real risk. China makes up a big part of its sales, and questions about trust and security are growing. Investors are betting billions on Chinese chip makers like Cambricon and More Threads, hoping they can lead the next wave of innovation. And with breakthroughs like DeepSeek, China may not need as many expensive GPUs as before. Software is becoming just as important as hardware. The story isn't over. The chip war is just heating up. Want to stay ahead? Subscribe, like, and tell us in the comments, who do you think will win, Nvidia or China?